Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar, which is the second part of a five-part program on Instagram for small business. My name is Jim Danhauser. I'm a volunteer with SCORE. I assume that most of you attended last week's program, so I'm going to skip our usual introduction and just remind you that you're going to need to register for each of the sessions in this series separately. And once again, I'll include the links for the remaining sessions in the follow-up email that I'll send out in the next day or two. I'll just remind you that SCORE offers mentoring to people who are in business or thinking about starting a business. It can be a really valuable assistance to you, and I encourage you to take advantage of it. Finally, remember the procedures. Everybody other than myself and Sue has been muted. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the Q&A. I'll be following that as we go along and prompting those questions over to Sue as she discusses them. Don't put them in the chat. It's just easier for me to follow one simple nodule instead of having to toggle back and forth between the two. Remember, the webinar is being recorded. I will again send a link to that recording out to everybody who registered as soon as it is available, which would be in the next day or two. So again, Sue B. Zimmerman, sorry, who is a serial entrepreneur with great success, a frequent lecturer on Instagram. Those who attended last week's session, I know, got a tremendous amount of value at it. So I'm very excited to hear what we have in store for you today. So Sue, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, well, thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. I'm excited to be back for the second part of 5. So there's 3 more that you need to register for. Today's focus is going to be all about posting and having a posting strategy. Remember last week we talked about the bio and creating a boss bio and what that means, which I'll kind of reference throughout this presentation today. If for any reason you're new, come check me out, say hi in the DM or from one of my stories at Sue B. Zimmerman. I do have a little exciting announcement that I'll give at the end that I think would be helpful for all of you. So make sure that you hang out with me to the end of this presentation because I have something special. I like to tease something special that's going to help all of you. So let's get into what's going to happen today on this call. I'm going to kind of revisit Instagram as a village because there are over 2 billion monthly active users. And I did have the pleasure of connecting and talking with several of you who have geographical location-based businesses. And I want to say that those are the easiest businesses to get more business using Instagram as a marketing tool. I personally have a global reach and clients and students from all over the world, but many of you are simply trying to increase awareness, build your community, grow your audience, and have more opportunities within your local based business. And so when I say Instagram is a village, you don't need to attract 2 billion users. You simply need to attract the right users. And followers and likes and views, they don't pay the bills. It's the engagement from real people that are interested in what you do. So as we break down each neighborhood for the remaining of this series, I just want you to lean into what can I do to attract the right customer for my business. And the neighborhood we're going to go deep into today is your feed. And we're going to talk about how to apply the posting with purpose. And I'm going to review that with you all in the Instagram feed, because in the feed, there are many different ways that you can post. You can post a photo, you can post a video, which would be a reel, and you can also post carousel post. So there are different types of posts that you can share, and we'll get into that. If you are new here, if you weren't here last week, I just want to let you know, Jim referenced this, but yes, I've been teaching and speaking and educating marketing all over the world for the past 12 years on many exciting stages. And I love doing virtual trainings like this just as much as I love doing large in-person conferences like I was a couple weeks ago in Chicago. And I love doing masterminds in person. I do one on the Cape and I do one in La Jolla for 15 people. And if that's something you're interested in time, like just let me know and I can give you information. So I took some screenshots from last week and thank you all, Sandra and Lisa and Rose and Brenda and Joshua and Audrey, Lori, Denise, Tony, Bernadette, and Allison, who just kind of wrote in the chat. I love action takers. I love seeing energy in the chat. I feed off of energy, and you all should be feeding off the energy in your business as well. These were the takeaways from last week's session. And I think it's important for you guys to understand that Instagram all starts with that bio, that boss bio work we did. And if you did not do that and feel that confident that you have a boss bio, at the end of the training, I will drop a link to book a free 15-minute call with me so I can kind of help you understand what is missing and what you need to do and why. Everything I teach really is specific to your market niche. And the same principles apply, but everyone has little nuances within their business that is important. And I love that Tony Brown said that you can use the 63 characters to have the right SEO. So there's the name of your Instagram account, and then there is the name field. The name field is where 9 out of 10 people don't have the SEO. Therefore, you do not get found in search. So if you have not checked off boss bio, I got it, I'm doing it right, definitely check in with me. Send me a DM on Instagram at Subi Zimmerman, and I can get you on a 15-minute call so that we can really do that. Okay. So Jim, anything coming in that needs my attention before I go into the presentation? You're on mute.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to start with the basics and we're going to go into the neighborhoods. When I talk about the feed, remember what I said last week, and I'm going to say it again and again and again. Each neighborhood, there's different ways and different types of content that are shared, and there's different formats of that content and how followers are able to engage. So if I were to do a quick poll, I am really curious, how many of you spend more time in, for example, let's say stories than in the feed? Like if you were to say, Subi, I hang out in the feed more, I'm scrolling, I'm looking at content, or are you someone that hangs out in stories? And we're going to talk about Instagram stories specifically next week. So if you guys can just like throw that in there, Jim's going to just tell me like, I'm going to look at the chat real quick. Tony says stories, Michelle says stories. Yeah, and we'll get into why stories are important. The truth is, it's easier to create stories than stay committed to your feed and your content. But in my program, Ready, Set, Grow, and when I'm coaching my clients, if you have not created the right, relevant, evergreen content in your feed, you should not be sharing into stories. Stories are only seen for 24 hours. Your feed lives on as long as you keep it there and you don't archive it. So you want to make sure that you stay committed to doing your feed post strategically. Okay, so again, here's the visual. I love a good visual. Today it's all about the feed. Next week the stories. Then we're going to move into reels, and then finally we're going to do lives. And the reason that Jim suggested that we break this down into a 5-part series is because there's a lot of information. And the last thing I want to do is overwhelm you guys. I want you to really just take one step at a time, understand everything converges in the opportunity called the Instagram DM, the rotary, where everything leads to if you do this correctly. And when I say correctly, it really means creating relatable, relevant content specifically for your audience. All of you have different audiences. And like I said, users interact differently in each area. And if you're going to get someone to stop in their scroll and consume your content, it needs to be done very strategically. So we're going to focus on the feed today. And if you have your eyes on the screen, these are just screenshots of the different types of posts that you can do. One being the carousel. I'm going to go into that. One is the reels and one is photos. This is what appears on your account on Instagram and never expires. And this requires the most time, the most work, a strategy. If you are simply checking off the box that you did Instagram today and you don't have a strategy, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something sticks. And whether it's a single image or a reel video or a carousel post that has 20 clips, it has to be the right content for your business. I will say this over and over again because people post random things all the time. And that is why you're getting random results. It's not the algorithm, it is your content that is not aligning with those that you're trying to attract. We want to make sure that you are increasing reach, and that's really important. The comment section, I like to call this the comment thread, is the most visible from a feed post. However, and I'll share my screen at the end of this presentation, and I talked briefly about this last week, Notes is a feature that can really help you get more visibility on complementary accounts. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're a real estate agent and you do want to become the mayor of your town. So if you're selling property in Hyannis or in Falmouth Heights where I live, or P-Town or Woods Hole, you want to become the person that everyone talks about, and you want to collaborate with the restaurants, with the retailers, with the shops. You want to talk about why would someone be interested in moving into that area on Cape Cod or on Martha's Vineyard, Edgartown versus Vineyard Haven. And I do live on the vineyard for 2 weeks every summer. I love it in all places. But it's really important to make sure that you are only speaking to the people that you're trying to attract. And real estate agents, I love speaking at real estate agent conferences. They have it all wrong. They're showing content in their feed that they sold a house. They're showing like affluent wealth, and no one cares about that. What people care about is their own life and what it would mean to buy property where they want to live and what's interesting, the school systems, the historical landmarks, the restaurants. So strategy is everything. And so when there is a consistent energy, and I'm not going to even say branded look and feel because a lot of people get stuck with this branded look and feel, which used to be a thing back in the Instagram days. What's trending now is true authenticity. My feed on my business account, that the Instagram expert, is very branded, but my feed on the account that I'm sending you all to, which is my active account now, Subi Zimmerman, is just simply content that's related to the clients that I want to serve. So when you take a peek at my Subi Zimmerman account, and if you haven't come over and said hi yet, I invite you to do that on one of my posts. Just say that you're on the SCORE training so I can come see you and say hi to you. And I promise every one of you that comment and say that you're in the room right now, I will take the time to say back to hi to you and take a look at what you're doing. But this account, and we're going to go over the bio piece, and then we're going to, I'm going to revisit some of the things we learned last week, and I'm going to continue to teach and talk about the feed. But when you look at my bio, remember the keywords, the 63 keywords. Subi, I am known all over the world as Subi. The peace sign is my favorite emoji. Yes, emojis are searchable on Instagram in the SEO name field. I am a business coach for women in their prime and older, and I do masterminds, in-person masterminds on Cape Cod and La Jolla, California. Now, why am I putting that in my bio? Because people search words like mastermind, Cape Cod, La Jolla, and they find me. People search business coach and they find me. And then they scroll and they look at the content in my feed to make sure that there is an alignment with the bio. Now, right now, I changed out my bio, and I'm going to say this to you guys. It's a great strategy. If you're a retailer, if you have a business with a special and you want the attention to be on one thing, you can like Linda, I talked to Linda who runs a handyman business, and you could have the bio say one thing. So on March 12th, I am doing a live masterclass, and it's simple. This is simple earning, like proven strategies that will help you increase revenue. And all you need is your phone and Instagram. And so I said, grab your seat. So instead of putting other words in my bio, my launch, so whether you're selling a house or launching a new product or service, your Instagram bio can be like a billboard for that. So I only have 100 seats for this training. My focus is on filling this training, and that's what I'm doing in the bio right now. My stories also are broadcasting that training. And when you look at my feed content, you can see that I'm an educator. You can see that I speak on stages. You can see that I do masterminds. All the things that you see in my bio is in my feed. If the content that you're sharing in your feed is not in alignment with what you're saying in your bio, it's really hard to build trust. And so a feed post right here, this is what pops up in my feed when I am on the home button. So these are the accounts that I follow. I did a meetup in Fort Myers when I was in Florida, and Resin Art Naples hosted my meetup, and that popped up in my feed because you get to see what you want to see in your feed. And so when this is the profile photo, and then over here, this is my feed. And so if you should not be following back anyone that follows you. You should be following back accounts that bring value. What do I mean by that? That educate you, that entertain you, that make you laugh, that become resources, or your clients or community members in my case. So I support all of my community members and like really want to see what they are doing. And so this is the post in my feed when I tap on the house on the far left. On the bottom, those are the buttons. So when they turn black, that's where you are. At the top of this are rainbow circles, meaning there is an active Instagram story that I have not yet watched. If I watch them all, there'd be no rainbow there. We talked about this briefly last week, and I will go deeper into this next week. Now, the value of spending time in your feed is literally your portfolio. It is more powerful than your website, in my opinion. Why? Because in order for people to find your website on Google search, you need to spend money on Google. Like, your website needs to be optimized. You need to have those meta tags. You need to spend some money getting found on search. But Instagram can drive people wherever you want them to go, whether it's your YouTube channel, whether it's your opt-in to join your email list, whether it's something that you're selling. In order for people to get there, you need to market to get them there. And because Instagram is a free marketing tool, you want to make sure that everything is optimized. This is your portfolio. This is saying, I am the person, I am the expert, I am the educator, I am the influencer, I am the author that does this thing. This is a place to introduce content that you want your audience to reference later. It is more evergreen. So what do I mean by evergreen? It stays there. Stories disappear in 24 hours. This is what gives credibility to your business. Like I said, it is the promise that you make in your bio. And there's a variety of formats, as I mentioned, reel, carousel, and photo. So the carousel post, these are the ones that can now have up to 20 pieces of content. It used to be 10. I love this for so many reasons. And one of my content strategies that I'm going to be doing soon is every offer that I have as a business coach, mastermind, speaker, I'm going to create a carousel post that I can reference if anyone is asking about my offers. Why? Because every single post on Instagram has its own unique URL, meaning you could send this post to anyone or embed it in a bio. So if you spend the time creating a really juicy carousel, you can definitely increase your reach. And Instagram is favoring carousel posts. These can be videos and or photos within those 20 clips that people swipe. Now, if you look at my visuals on the right, there are ways to optimize your carousel post. I teach this all in Ready, Set, Grow. You want to make sure you have the word swipe on it. You want to make sure you have your account name at the bottom so that if someone shares it into their story, your name is seen. It's advertisement. You want to do it correctly. So carousels do take more time to create, but they are worth it. Now, remember, no matter what neighborhood you're in, we want to always post with purpose. So a little refresher from last week, we talked about authority, relatability, savability, shareability, and relevance. These are the pillars that I've come up with that are important when you're crafting your content. Authority, this showcases your authority. What makes you the go-to real estate agent? What makes you the handyman that people are going to call? How many years have you been in business? What are your points of differences? And by the way, there is enough business for everyone in this world. What's important is that you come up with your point of difference. My primary audience are women midlife and older. Do I help men? Absolutely. Do I coach women in their 30s and 40s? Absolutely. But the majority of my demographic are women 50, 45, 50 and older. So you want to make sure that you're coming up as that person in your market niche as you position yourself within this authority. And part, doing absolutely having testimonials, and I have a whole system of how to do testimonials correctly. And it's not taking a screenshot of your Google reviews and sharing it on Instagram. What's organic to Instagram is a little bit different. But this, you by sharing your testimonials in your feed, it is a very strategic way to show that you are that authority, and you should have testimonials in your feed. The savability content is the content that people save from that little ribbon icon underneath each and every post. This is something I always save great recipes and great mobility move workouts. This is something that your audience is like, whoa, this is so juicy. This carousel post has so much information. I want to go back to it later. And yes, you can categorize what you're saving, kind of like the pins in Pinterest. And I used to teach Pinterest many, many moons ago, but you can create your own categories when you're saving content. So, you could save a folder that says sous vide on it. You could save a folder that says marketing or, recipes. So savability helps with the algorithm for sure. Relatability, this is where you share and show your humanity and empathy, and you want to make sure that your audience feels seen and heard through your posts. And this is why using ChatGPT is not the answer. This needs to be your voice. Now, using it to correct your grammar or making it more concise, I'm all for that. But writing the content is so important that we feel your true personality so we can connect with you. When you are creating relatable, relevant, relatable content, this is an example on one of our posts that we had done, when it comes to kind of energy around having a successful business. And we had this be like a swipe post, a carousel post. It's relatable because you could see more my CEO and I here. And we're kind of what we're saying is kind of overcoming those excuses that people have of why they're not on Instagram. And then we had a bio audit discount that we did, and in the description we made that really clear. When people were buying, they got a bio audit when they bought our Ready, Set, Grow program. So this is when we were in a launch for our Ready, Set, Grow program, which we do typically once a year. Shareability. This is content that deeply resonates with your followers, so much so that they want to share it. They want to copy the link. They want to share it with their friends. They want to share it in the DM. They want to share it in their stories. Shareability helps the algorithm really well. Now, this is an example, a couple of examples of shareability content. We all know that quotes perform well and do share well. This one, if you look at the bottom and you see that airplane icon, you can see that it got over 10,000 shares. This is one of our posts that does very well, that we shared, and you can look at your insights to check your shares on that. We had, hundreds of people like it and a lot of different shares. So shareability is another marker for the algorithm, as is relevance. So this is what is timely for your clients, and sometimes this means jumping on different trends and putting your spin on that. I think I might have shared this quote last week, but or maybe I didn't. I don't think I had a visual, but I found this, and it's like, these are the kinds of words that people want to feel and hear. And this is a carousel post, because if you see the bottom with the dots, this has 4 swipes. There would be 10 dots if it had 10 swipes, or 20 if it had 20. This is getting a lot of shares, 21.2 thousand shares, a lot of love and a lot of comments. This is what we strive for. So here are some content ideas. If anyone wants to take if anyone wants to take a screenshot of this, maybe you feature different professionals in your industry. You can celebrate a client success story. Everyone believes clients more than they're going to believe you. This is why testimonials are so important. And we all love to see a before and after of your product or service, not a side by side. If you do medical spas and you're showing a before and after of a weight loss, it's not on one slide, it's on the swipe of the carousel. So there's nuances that are important to keep in mind. If you are someone that, like I talked about earlier, that has a new product, you want to feature that product. Sarah Blakely from Spanx does a great job when she launched her new shoe line, when she launched her her arm tights. Like, there's a way to do a launch on a new product, and you want to make it stand out and make it different.
So let me, a couple of questions have come in that might be good to
Yeah.
take now. The shareability example had a request to promote the content. What does it mean to promote the content? Is there a cost? If so, what is it?
Yeah, so you can promote content or boost content. Promoting it means you're paying for ads, as is boosting. When I had my business account, The Instagram Expert, we did have an ad budget and we did promotional posts. If you don't know how to do Instagram ads, do not boost any post. Like, we had an ads team. It's a whole different ecosystem of doing ads. Everything I teach, and I'm teaching here to all of you, is organic reach. I am not endorsing or recommend any of you spend money on ads, but that's what it means.
Can you share more on the better way to share testimonials? You said not to just copy the Google pages.
Yeah, I will do that after the presentation. I'll pull up my phone and show from my phone.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, strategy. You always want to have a CTA on every post, call to action. And it's not buy my stuff. It's not always link in bio. It can simply be, comment below with this emoji if you want that thing. So you want to give very specific call to actions, like leave a comment below if this resonates for you. Double tap if you agree with what I'm sharing. That's a good one. And you can look at your likers. You can look at who's liked your post, and you can go deeper with those likers. Comment below with an emoji that best explains how you feel. Head to our Instagram stories to see how to sign up for our free training. The link is there. So these are all great examples. You can learn more about our services with the link in our bio. So you want to be specific. You don't ever want to assume that people know what you're thinking or people know what you want them to do. Write this down. It is your job as the business owner to tell people exactly what action you want them to take. It is not their job to figure it out. They have their own life and agenda and to-do list. So many people do not have a call to action. So here is an example, step-by-step instructions, comment free on this post, and we'll use this as an example. And once you find the message, you can join us on the training. So let me just dial into this. So this is a carousel post. You can see it said swipe. You can see it had our account. Very simple words, secret inbox, how one word comments lead to hidden messages. And then there's the whole carousel post. And so we are telling you to comment free on this post, and then you will find the message, the hidden message. So then we used a service called ManyChat. It's software where none of you probably need it because we got hundreds of DMs a day, which was really hard to keep up with. But when we build out our funnels and we had the word free, it would automatically lead people to the next action that they needed to take. Okay. So call to actions lead everyone to the DM. When you get to the Instagram direct message, you have an opportunity to get more intimately connected with a person. There is a person behind every avatar, and it is one person. If you help and serve one person every day, your business will grow. There's this beautiful ripple effect, I like to say, that if you give to one person and they feel emotionally connected to you, even if they didn't buy what you're selling, they will talk about you. And that is what a brand is. When other people talk about you and you're not even in the room and they're saying great things about you, that is how your business can grow. So we want to get people to the DM. So you can say, DM me the word grow, and I'll send you a training all about my proven sales strategies. Comment below this post or this reel with a graph emoji, and I'll DM you a link for our free webinar. We did a lot of free trainings and we sold very strategically using this methodology. I had, over $1 million in sales in the Instagram expert business that I had for 12 years. And a lot of those sales, I want to say $200,000 came from just the tactics that I taught using the Instagram direct message strategically. So you want to make sure you have a call to action. This is the example with screenshots. Someone put start, and then it would auto-populate with what you're seeing on the far right. And then they would be able to learn how to make reel covers in stories. So we often gave free content. It was not always things we were selling. It was just building audiences and getting people on our email list so we could get more people on our webinars. Now, I know that many of you don't do that, but this is just to show you when you make it clear what you want people to do, they will take that action. But you need to make it easy and simple for them to do that. Now, an easy way to do that is one of my favorite hacks. If you have an iPhone, I don't know Android users, sorry, but I'm an iPhone girl, always has been. So you can take a screenshot of this. If you go to your settings, if you go to general, and you go to keyboards and you go to text replacement, you can create a phrase or a shortcut, very similar to what I just showed you using ManyChat and building funnels. And I do this on my personal account. I have a symbol and it will auto-populate information that people are constantly asking for. So this is a great hack. This is worth the price of admissions today. If you do this in your business, really good. As we all know, social media is meant to be social. It's not what's my return of investment of social media. It's hello, building a business and building an audience and getting visibility and building a community, because this takes time, commitment to connect and build these relationships that matter. And the magic happens. Trust me. I mean, the monetization happens when you do this well and you really lean into knowing and feeling that there's a person that you're talking to. And it's not just a bot, it's a person. And so how you treat that person really does matter. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of summarize what we talked about today. I'm gonna take you to my phone. We talked about the feed. We talked about why it's important, the different types of content in the feed. I will show you some examples, and how to use call to actions to get the most out of your feed post. And I always love to, answer questions. Make sure if you're not over saying hi to me on Subi Zimmerman, I do have my Sell More workshop in my bio there that I showed you, that I think some of you might be interested in. But just want to make sure that you guys see that. So I'm going to stop sharing my slides and I will share my phone in a hot second. So let's
While you're
get,
doing that, maybe I could just throw some questions that have come in.
yeah.
I love serving my audience and plan to start using Instagram soon. A marketing consultant friend recommended I give value and not do any call to action to enroll in my program. What is your advice? My business is a sensitive topic.
I believe call to actions are very important, and the call to action isn't always buy what I'm selling. So if you're not getting engagement, conversation, and connections happening strategically on Instagram, then you're not doing it correctly. And if you want to talk with me, I'll grab that link. I'll put it in the chat for everyone. Yeah, so I'm not in agreement with what I just heard. Just keep it real out there.
Can you provide an example of what you would write related to your business within text replacement off iPhone? I'm not quite sure what that means.
Yeah, any frequently asked questions, you can have it auto-populate the way that you want. So it really depends what your goals are. This can be used for anything.
And there's a specific question someone had actually asked last week, and they're asking it again. If you have student musicians playing song covers, do you know if they get banned or bumped?
I have no idea what that question, like if they're playing it in Instagram.
Yes, if you're posting that music on Instagram.
No, I don't know anyone that gets banned or bumped for playing that music.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just grab this. And a call. Hold on. Okay, this is, let's see. Any other questions coming in? Are we good?
Can you give a demo of that frequently asked question example?
What's different in my business, like people ask me to speak on stages all the time. And so an example is, please email Kate at customercare@subizimmerman.com and she'll take care of you. Like it all depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're being asked the same questions all the time, you can create a text expander so you don't have to type it every time. That it sounds like people are a little confused with what that is.
I think that's what they are. They're confused by that.
Yeah, I'll show you how to do it on my phone. Okay.
What are some examples of easy content I could create as free content to share?
I need to know more about your business and what
Yeah,
you
I
do.
agree with that.
You might want to book a 15-minute call. Let me just see if I can get this. Here we go. This is the link. My free calls fill up very quickly, but I do invite you guys to take the time to do this. I'm putting it in the chat now. And let's just put it like that. There we go. Okay. Melissa, I'm so glad it was helpful. Brenda, it's good to see you again. Articulate how it works. Yeah, I'll show you how it works. Okay. Let me just make sure I have this all set and it's saved. Yeah. Okay. So let's first go into advanced settings on Zoom, share my phone. Let me know if you guys can see this. And it should be pulling up any second. Great.
There it is.
See
You
that?
got it. Yes.
Cool. Cool. And I am gonna, anyone that sends me a DM, Jim, I'm gonna pick somebody from today's call and gift them access to my masterclass that I'm doing on the 12th. And all you guys need to do is just like come into my DM and say that you're here in my DM and I will just reference score. Okay, let's go into the settings. general. Remember I said general? And then I said, oh, I'm not looking at the slide, so I have to text, wait, hold on. Keyboard, so general to keyboard, text replacement. And here's a plus sign. So if I wanted to, for example, I'll go to my notes and grab my 15-minute link. Let me see. Let's see where it is. I use notes all the time, but SBZ 15 or Calendly. Should be popping up. Searching. Let me grab this link here. Hold on one second. So, all right, let me do something different for you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go to YouTube. And I have a YouTube channel, if those of you guys don't know about that. It's called The Instagram Expert. And if I wanted to share my account with you guys, I can tap the share button, copy the link, bring it over to the phrase, which would be paste, and I would say, check out my YouTube channel if you're looking to grow your Instagram account for business. I love talking to Siri. And then I could just have it be a symbol and I could save it. Okay. So now if I'm in my Instagram DM and somebody messaged me and they wanted my YouTube chili dog set shirt and I tapped the question mark, this is all populated and now they can just tap in and go right to my YouTube channel. Is that helpful for everyone? Just make sure everyone got that.
Clearly they did because people have said yes.
Great, cool. All right, let's go back to Instagram. So you guys were asking for samples of testimonials.
Because he heard.
So in our feed, we had a signature way of sharing testimonials. And we would take screenshots from Instagram, often from the DM. We don't get a lot of views on this, but we do get comments from people that have signed up and invested in it. And our signature style was a branded testimonial. It's important that you show the person their name because anyone can create a great testimonial in Canva. And so you want to make sure that it is a screenshot with proof that it's the person. And it needs to fit strategically in the feed. So that was one way that we consistently shared. There's other ways where we would have videos and them talking about the results that
Every one of our
that they would that they would get.
Yep.
So these are all
own
students talking about how great our programs are. And so a lot of this is a video. Stories are a great place to put testimonials because then you can save them into your feed. And I'll go back to my personal one, which is more active. So I have a highlight, and we'll talk more about this next week, called Favorite Clients. And people can tap in and literally look at all my clients and what they're saying about the results that they're getting. And so when you have a highlight with testimonials, you can then share, you can share this whole highlight. You could copy the highlight link and you could share it. If someone said, like, let's just say, I forget your name at Chili Dog Safe. This bio is not complete and needs help, but let's say you were asking me about my clients. I could say, here's the information you were asking about, looking to see results from some of my clients. And then I could just simply send the link, the highlight link with all the testimonials, not just one. Every highlight on Instagram has its own unique URL.
Sue, somebody asked, what are the specifics around showcasing pictures or video testimonials in terms of obtaining permission so we don't get sued?
Okay, anyone that's thinking they're going to get sued for showing a video, that's a mindset thing you need to shift. Anyone in business loves knowing that they're tagged on Instagram because now they're getting more visibility. So these this is a $1 million brand. It's called Two Tone Training, and I work with them in Boston. They're amazing athletic personal trainers, and they do a lot of influencer business and licensing. And I tag them in my stories, and they get more reach and more eyeballs on their business because I'm tagging them. Videos are everything when it comes to testimonials, much more so than written words. Now, the written words you saw in my feed on the Instagram Expert, that was our signature style of doing it in the feed on brand, but we have way more videos in our stories than anywhere else, because you can have as many videos as you want in a highlight. And here's an example. Let me just go to the Cape Cod one. You guys will appreciate this. So here's an example of the Cape Cod Mastermind, and I stack testimonials here. So let me go back. You can stack testimonials in your story, what everyone is saying. I took a screenshot, and then we show what the experience is like when you're here. And then we show all the video testimonials from everyone that attended. And we show the experience. And then we only have 2 spots left for this coming October because people are interested in doing more in-person learning. So yeah, testimonials, absolutely, as a highlight. What else is coming in?
People want more information on Ready, Set, Grow.
Okay, Jim, I'm gonna go. Is that okay for me to show? I want to make sure it's legit.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, because I want you guys to know. So on my website, and if you haven't visited, it's called Learn with SBZ. And I will, if anyone is interested in our signature program called Ready, Set, Grow, I can get the link here. I'll put it's right here. I've been selling this program for almost 10 years. We have over 5,000 students. We have a VIP Facebook group, and I am giving a discount to SCORE students, anyone that wants to sign up. But this is literally how to find and get clients. And if you want to look at the registration page, it is here with all the information, like everything that is included is on that registration page. And there's support in a Facebook group and you get lifetime access to this. Anyone that's interested, send me a DM and I'll send you a code giving you $200 off the $597 program. This is something that will absolutely help you go step by step. And anytime there's an update, you'll get information on that too. I do monthly trainings there. Yeah, so that's kind of my signature program that I built my reputation from. And it really does work when you do it correctly. Yeah.
We had some other more technical questions, I would say, Sue.
Let's hear it.
Someone says, I sell both to individual and wholesale customers. Should I set up 2 separate Instagram accounts?
Absolutely not. You should strategically understand how to do stories and highlights. So you have different tabs. Highlights on Instagram are like tabs on your website if you do them well. So you can have one of these say wholesale, one of these say retail. I teach mobility moves and time restrictive intermittent fasting, and I have a tab all about that. But the world doesn't know me as a health and wellness educator. But I do that too. So tabs on your Instagram account become an opportunity for people to make sure that you're the real deal. So I do like wholesale retail. I have different ways that I serve my audience, and I have tabs that will bring them where they want to go on Instagram.
Following only accounts that bring value, not everyone. Is that true for personal or professional accounts or both? Does it affect the algorithm?
Yes, it affects the algorithm. If you have a personal account, I would just keep it on private and keep it personal. If you're here for business, you need to strategic every action you make on Instagram is a data point. So if you're looking at your competitors, if you're looking at cat memes, if you're looking at sunsets all the time, Instagram shows you more of that. So your habits matter, and you want to be super strategic with what you're doing.
The save button, where is it saved, and how would a person access content they save from my company?
Okay, let me show you. So I will show you here. In the top 3 bars at the top, some people call this a hamburger. There are saved. This is where you can find your saves. It's just taking a second. Oh, I have to share the screen. Oh, no, it is sharing. Oh, it's not. Hold on. Let me go back to. Let's see if I can find it on this account. All right, let me do it like this. Hold on. So if I go to Sue B. Zimmerman and I wanted to save this, make more money doing what you love, on this post at the bottom, there is a save button. And when you tap it, you can make a new collection. So these are all my saves, like podcasts, cleaning, flowers, bookmarks. Like every one of these has a different collection. And so you access it when you create a collection or you save something. And you want more saves and shares. This is the post. If you guys are on my Instagram account wanting me to get my eyeball on anything, I invite you guys to comment on this post where I'm wearing sunglasses and this skirt. I'll take a look at your stuff from this post. It will be easy for me to find it if I just mark it as that. Yeah, this is the training I was talking about. And I will pick a winner from this post if you guys, to give you access to this training that I'm doing on the 12th that will help you make more money.
Someone said your registered now link on your site does not load, FYI.
I would check your Wi-Fi because it does work. I have people signing up.
And Grayson, yes, everybody gets a copy of the recording. I sent it out to everybody who registered. Someone asked, how do you crop the screenshot to get the corners?
What corners?
I'm not quite sure what they mean.
Brenda, wait, who said it?
Audrey.
Audrey, I don't know, to get the corners. Audrey, can you please tell me what you mean? While Audrey's doing that, we still have 6 minutes. I would love, like last week, can you guys let me know what you're walking away with today that you've learned that you feel really good about? I'd love to know. Oh, how I did that. Oh, my graphic designer did that for me. The round edges, it's done in Canva.
And Canva, incidentally, folks, if you don't use it, it's a very good tool. for businesses to use when they're trying to prepare content for the internet.
Yeah, I met Melanie when I was in Sydney, Australia, when she was just starting out, well, 10 years ago. Now she's a billionaire. She sold the company. It's a great tool.
Okay.
You like that? Oh, Grayson, awesome. Can everyone else share what you love? The text expander was really helpful. Eden said, Carla said, I love call to action shortcut on the iPhone is great. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you create those text expanders, you will save so much time. And as we all know, as small business owners, time is money, and I don't want you guys to waste it. So text expanders, really good. Anybody else want to share what they learned? Melissa said the text expander. Nitisha said highlight options for different target audience. Amazing tip. Love that. And I'll go more into that next week. So I invite you guys all to join then. I like the idea of highlights as website tabs. Yeah, Audrey, 100%. Harlan, about the swipe that each highlight has its own URL. Awesome. Linda said the testimonial. Linda, that's good for you for sure. I love that you and I connected. Jan said, love the specifications and tabs. Highlight process. Help me understand what highlights are. Great. Yeah, we're going to go deeper into stories and deeper into highlights. I love teaching you guys. I love everyone's walking away with something that they didn't have. And you committed to being here. And yeah, I'm going to kind of refresh my phone real quick and see who has commented on this. And I'm going to give a little, I see that there's been some new comments here. Let me see. Here's another little tip for you guys. So when you get comments on your Instagram content, always give it a little heart it up. And for me, when I heart it up, it means I saw it, but I often like to comment back. These are people that are all signing up for my training. And so here's someone that saw my training at the Women's and Dentist and loved it. She needs sign me up. Okay. So you just want to like give a heart to, thank you. Exclusive Jewels Boston. So let's look at, okay, let's look at you're missing your SEO. I'm going to follow you back, honey. You're missing your SEO. You're missing your location, Elisa. And there's a lot of improvement that we could do here for sure. And I lived, at Millennium Tower downtown near the Diamond District. So I'm very familiar with all the kind of vintage heirloom jewelry that you've got here. And yeah, so I think there's some good work that we can do there. Let's look at Reno Health Corp. Okay, definitely need some improvement here. And you're on Milk Street, right near where I used to live. I'm in Boston a lot, you guys. So who else is commenting? Someone else here. Yeah, looks like you guys are all kind of starting out. But like I said, if you leave a comment on this post, I'm going to pick one person to get access to that training. We have 2 minutes left. Comments are limited, not on this post. This is a post that I want to make sure that you guys are on. Comments are limited on my first post, not the one with the glasses. So that's the one, Melissa, you want to comment on. Colleen said, I post more than nice stories, so I feel better to know that posting is a priority. Yes, it is. Absolutely, 100%. And it is what takes the most time. Okay, Jim, anything else you need to say? I'll do a quick some motivational words for you guys.
One person said, what's your opinion on the perceived healthy ratio between followers and follows to try to maintain it if we start an account? Is this strategic to follow back everyone who follows us?
No, I said earlier, do not, and you should not. Look at my followers and my following count. Who the heck can follow more than like 2,000 accounts and keep up with it, right? So when you see somebody following close to 5,000 or 7,500 accounts, typically those are bots, not people. The most that you can follow is 7,500. I would love for you guys to be really discerning with who you're following. And remember, does this person educate me, inform me, bring value, or am I just following them to be nice? No, you are not being nice. You are being a business boss. And if you want to use Instagram strategically, you need to only follow the accounts that show up in your feed that you want to see. Otherwise, you're going to be going down the scroll doom hole and wasting time. Melissa, send me a DM if you can't comment. When you said you don't have your SEO, what is that person missing? Keywords, you get 63 keywords. I talked about this last week. The keywords of how someone would find you. How somebody would find you.
And for those who need that refresher, remember everybody who registered for last week got a copy of the link to the recording. So I would encourage you all, as you have questions, go back and look at it again.
Yeah, let me just do one more thing. So in my stories, so remember, stories are from, I'm going to tease next week a little bit because we're at the top of the hour. Stories are where you show behind the scenes. And so this is where you want to get on video and talk and share who you are and what you do. And so, yeah, so stories, we're going to get deep into that neighborhood. I call these the Subi neighborhoods. And you guys are learning that Instagram is a village and there's different neighborhoods. And we just did the feed. You guys did great. And like I said, I wanted you to stay to the end because I am going to pick a winner from that post for one of you guys to join my training that I'm doing on the 12th. And that's it.
Awesome. As always, Sue, thanks a bunch. This has been terrific. Everybody had a great time. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Bye, you guys.